Hey guys, how's it going? Octopus here and welcome back to Union Cross. So, Lexaeus event is out, his banner's here, and we also got a 0 AP campaign. But how good is this medal? If you guys don't know already, every month we get a new organization member. Today's the 5th month. Well, it's now the 5th month on the 13th. So, 5th month meaning 5th member, Lexaeus. Is he good? Is he good? That is the question. So, 13th of each month, pretty straightforward. You guys know that. Right here is such a good thing. First off, if you guys did the Vexen event, you know that most free-to-play players can make it up to 8, and some free-to-play players that are either veterans or really lucky made up to 10 or more. So that being said, if you guys can make it up to 10, you're going to be sitting at a lot of jewels, 3,500 to be exact. So with that being said, 3,500 jewels, if you can make it all the way to 10 and beat it, that's a huge discount on polling for Lexaeus on his event. I'm going to talk about that in a second, but just seeing this, guys, even if you don't go for him, you're going to get a bunch of free jewels. So don't worry if you can't complete this event. I'm going to talk about this event and show you guys guides on this as soon as I get there. But I love the 13th event. The title is a silent hero. I really want to try to get this. I got Vexens. Hopefully I can get this one. But let's talk about the medal itself. So this is a falling price deal. It's going to come here in 5 draws. It's guaranteed. So if you pull 5 times from the banner, you will get it on the 5th pull. You can get it earlier, and that resets the counter for that. So you don't have to pull 5 times for them if you're lucky. But worst case scenario, guys, you are spending 11,600 jewels. Now, this is really important with the event itself. Again, if you can make it up to round 10 and beat it, you basically take away 3,500 jewels. If you can beat the entire event, this medal is only going to cost you 6,600 jewels, along with 2 medals from this pull. So out of the medals here, guys, Hercules and Vanitas are top-notch, like A S-class. These guys are so good. Hercules has such a great single hit multiplier, 19.80, and Vanitas is a copycat medal. You can never go wrong. Third is that Final Form Sora, and the other ones are questionable because Pete's multiplier is only at 11 point something, while the Gull Wings and the armor over there, they have a huge multiplier, but they have to collect more Lux, which is not hard at all. So all these medals are really good. It's just that Hercules and Vanitas are the ones you want to see the most, along with that Final Form Sora. Even though Final Form Sora has to be on the 5th slot, it fits beautifully on the Fairy Stars, so it's not a big deal. If you're new to the game, any of these medals gilted will help you out, especially the first 2 that I mentioned, the Hercules and Vanitas. So with that being said, the banner itself is really good. 11,600 to get yourself a new medal, which comes pre-orbed 5. So all you need is 1 Mickey and Broom, and you might get a trait medal along the way, meaning you can gilt it and trade it. And then you get 2 of those medals in that banner. So the banner is beautiful. I love these banners. They're amazing, and I hope to keep them as they go. I know that it's not like the old organization events where we get the medals for free for completing the events, but it is so cheap to get one of these. And also, if you can complete the event, which if you collect the medal, you get to get the event as well. So you're getting these medals for 6,600. You're getting free gilts on other medals and other chances to get other medals along the way. So banner, beautiful. I love the banner. Can't go wrong with it at all, guys. I'm going to talk about the cons about him first, because there's a lot of good things to talk about this medal. First off, the cons are that right there on the top, if you guys can see, it says 1 attack. So when it says 1 attack, it's not hit. There's attacks and there's hits. Hits is how many times the medal hits. This says 1 attack, but it doesn't say hits anywhere. So that's also a con. A pro I'm going to talk about. But the con is that it only buffs and debuffs itself. No other medal is going to get that reverse strength 5 or reverse defense down on the enemy by 5. Only his attack is going to count towards that. So that's a big con when it comes to having medals complementing other medals. When I first saw this, I was like, oh wow, even if you don't want to use it as a gilted medal, you can use it as an amazing buffer and debuffer, but it's only himself. It's a con and a pro, but we're going to talk about just cons in general. So that is a con because it doesn't take care of any other medal, but it still buffs and debuffs, which is really incredible because that's almost maxed out right there. Second con is that it's in the reversed category, meaning that if you look at the reverse medals that we currently have in the game, there is not that much medals to complement him. When it comes to doing reverse defense down, we don't have that many choices, guys. If you really look at it, the reverse medals that we currently have are here. I'll just show you. are medals that are VIP or EX medals. So if you want to complement his reverse defense down to make it at 7, you're going to have Sephiroth here. Zaldin is part of JP, so we're not going to see him for a long time, so that's a big no. Vanitas, if you didn't pull for Vanitas or Sephiroth, you're out of luck, and if you don't buy VIP, you're out of luck. There is no other medals in the game that lower your reverse strength down. Again, that's a con and a pro about this medal. But if you want that perfect 7 tiers down, it's not going to happen unless you have one of these medals. So that's another con, is that no other reverse medals can really complement it for free to play, but for cheap to play, meaning you buy VIP once in a while, and for anyone that got lucky or actually pulled for Sephiroth or Vanitas, you're okay. There's a lot of setups, especially with Sephiroth, that you're going to do really good on. But that is another con I want to talk about, trying to complement his reverse defense down. So with all that, the other con is that inflicts more damage the higher the slot number. So he has to be on slot 5 and 6 for his highest potential of 20.30. So amazing multiplier, but if you put him any lower, he's going to start hitting 13s, and there's plenty of medals in the game that do way more than 13 multiplier for a single target. So he's not AoE. I'm not going to really count as a con because you can use a Keyblade setup of AoE medals and have him as your finisher. So it's not that big of a con, but the biggest thing is that he's a reverse medal. Not much ways to complement him unless you have it, and having that higher multiplier in a higher slot and the one attack. Besides that, guys, let's talk about how good this medal is. This medal is incredible. The first thing I want to point out before I do go into that, I kind of jumped the gun. Remember Illustrated Vivi came out, and he was our buffer, and he had all the buffs and debuffs we needed, but then he got replaced really quickly. The thing with Illustrated Vivi is that he buffed for 3 attacks. Lexaeus here, he buffs for 1 attack. So this might be showing what medals will be coming out in the future. Medals that have buffs and debuffs. But if you look at all the organization members that came out so far, none of them are close to his buff and debuff. That is incredible all alone. So we might not see that again for a long time, or he's just showing us what's the future gonna hold for us for medals that will do that buff and debuff and last for multiple turns and not just his own attack. So just a little kind of insight there. Illustrated Vivi, and then we got a new buffer that completely wiped him out, so it didn't really matter when we had Illustrated Vivi. So there is caution right there, but let's talk about all the good stuff. So first off, the medal by itself, its multiplier is 20.30, meaning that this guy can fit anywhere at any time. You want to make a Keyblade setup on the sleeping lion, go ahead. You want to use the fairy stars, you want to use the dark gnaw, you want to use diamond dust, do what you got to do, because he takes care of himself. Especially if you guys have Kairi EX or Xion EX, you're golden. If you guys have any of the new stained glass medals, you're golden, because they will buff and debuff every other attribute that you need. Or if you're using stained glass, if you use the power ones, he is done. He is done 100%, which is really beautiful. I'm going to go into specific setups very soon, but he doesn't need anything else. He doesn't have to have a buff for the other medals on your Keyblade. He only needs to be the only medal on your Keyblade, and it's really good when you look at it that way, because I'm going to close this right now and show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Example number 1 for this medal is on the Dark Gnaw. Now, I told you about the Sephiroth and all that. If you guys don't have a way to lower 2 reverse defense down, it's not a big deal. Just put any other reverse medal here, like a Scar, or I would recommend Scar. Scar is like one of the best ones. Or if you pull that Pete, put Pete there. But realistically, this medal can be your only attacking medal. And like I said, he fits on the pet slot on any Keyblade setup ever. It doesn't matter if you're facing a power enemy, speed enemy, or magic enemy. He's going to do so much damage that it's not going to matter what the attribute is, because of his multiplier, first of all, 20.30, and the buff and debuff that he applies to himself. So in this situation, this Keyblade setup, guys, if you pull for the new Xion, all you gotta do is copy it once. If you have extra attack, even better. But if you copy Xion once, all you're missing is one general defense down, and that's where you can put something over here for that general defense down, because it is actually really important to get it. But if you don't do that, you can also do this setup where you use the new Roxas stained glass metal, and that way, even if you don't copy it or have extra attack or anything like that, just casting one cast of Roxas and then copying once is enough to give all the buffs and debuffs you need for this entire Keyblade. Again, Sephiroth's there to finish off the last 2 reverse defense down. But with the Dark Gnaw, you can use HD Xion to copy Lexaeus. Lexaeus does his own thing, and then of course Riku up here gets the full benefit of everything because he has the highest multiplier. Same thing with Lexaeus, but Lexaeus on a 3.0, where our Riku over there is sitting on 3.1. So trust me when I say this will do a ton of damage, and this most likely will be a way to go to do this event as well. This is probably one big setup. There's another setup though. It is the Stroke of Midnight, guys. So the Stroke of Midnight, again, the Roxas can be replaced for a Xion EX. That's all you gotta do is replace it there in the front, depending what you have or what you want to go with. But in this scenario, again, if you play VIP, having Master Xehanort there is going to give you that 2 reverse defense down. You're going to see you can copy your buffer that's in this slot, meaning Kingdom Hearts 2 Nominate, or even Kingdom Hearts 1 Nominate if you weren't lucky enough to get this. A guilted version doesn't have to have traits. I saw someone leave a comment saying, oh, does my Kingdom Hearts 2 have Nominate? It doesn't have good traits. Should I guilt it? And people said no. If you have a copycat medal and it's guilted, or you can guilt it, guys. Forget about the traits. Traits are just like extra damage. It doesn't make the medal. That does not. This medal will do a ton of damage. The difference here in the multiplier slots is that Lexaeus is on 2.9, but your Nominee is on a 2.7, and also Nominee is tier 7, while our Xion is only tier 6. So where you lose out on that little multiplier on Lexaeus, you gain in the magic slot and also a higher tier of a copycat medal on the Stroke of Midnight. But we're looking at a level 35 Stroke of Midnight where you're versing a Dark Gnaw with plus 25. And currently, the Dark Gnaw has a booster if you guys did last week's Union Cross. So that spot where Lexaeus is actually a 4.0 and a 3.6 for Xion and a 3.5 for Sephiroth. So just those setups right there alone, guys, these just make this medal alone incredible. So if you pull for Xion on the new banner and you get yourself a Riku and you get yourself a Xion, you're golden. If you pull for the Xion again and you get a Nominee and Riku over here, you're golden. All you gotta do is make sure you're using Xion or the Roxas. So Lexaeus himself, guys, is just a powerhouse. It doesn't matter that he only buffs himself. As you can see with Keyblade setups like that, you are just golden with only having him as your attack medal. Even if you go into another slot and Nominee doesn't have as high as a multiplier as the 5th slot or the 6th slot or the Xion, it doesn't matter because it doesn't drop down all the way to 13.3. It drops down slowly when you go through the Keyblade. So the lower the slot, the lower the multiplier, but as you go higher, it goes closer to its max multiplier. So 4, 5, and pet slot, guys, you're going to be doing maximum damage. 4 is going to be a little bit weaker, but trust me, it's going to be in like 10 million damage in one single hit. Which is another pro, guys, is that this medal does one single hit, meaning the pet slot on any Keyblade. I can go through all the Keyblades. What do you guys notice? He always sits on a 3.1 multiplier and he takes care of himself. Really important, meaning any high score challenge you ever do, if you want an MVP medal, that's also going to help you with health regeneration enemies to finish them off in one shot so you get the bonus score, he is going to be incredible. Stand alone, no matter what your Keyblade setup, if you don't have copycat medals, it doesn't matter. He's going to sit on the pet slot, and you guys can also do the setup of just copying him. So on the Stroke of Midnight, again, if you have Xion, boom, Xion copies Lexaeus. If you guys use a friend rear, we don't have a upright one, but if you use Dark Gnaw, if you use Fairy Stars, you can use Antiform Sorver here. If you use Diamond Dust, you can finish it off with Vanitas copying. The Vanitas that's part of his banner. You guys can do maximum damage right here, which is incredible. And again, if you have that Vanitas over here, Vanitas will be a way to decrease the enemy's reverse defense by 2, complementing him even more. So just pulling from the Xion banner and his banner, your reverse setup is complete. It is complete. You're gonna get the copycat medals you need, and you're also gonna get a huge attacker. These are more pros than cons in any way. This medal alone can also just go like on the fair stars right here. Even though it doesn't get max multiplier, it is such a huge damage dealer right here. You guys can also just use that same strategy I showed you with copycat medals on here. It's just not going to do as much because it's on lower slots, but this still will work out, guys. Even if you don't have all the other copycat medals and you got screwed over by these copycat medals, you still can pull it off. It's still going to do a ton of damage just because of all the reverse. Just make sure you're using like a stained glass that has reverse or a Xion EX, but this works out so good. I do prefer them in these slots because if you ever put something up here, you got to make sure your first 2 medals are complementing that power or that pet slot, because he won't buff anyone else. So that medal has to be complemented by these medals over here. So to sum this all up, guys, one last thing is that people that can kind of skip out on this is people that have Warrior of Light, people that have Final Fantasy Record Keeper Terra, or if Nick and Judy come out in the future, those medals have higher multipliers. Scar has a higher multiplier. Diz has a higher multiplier. All those medals have higher multipliers than this medal, but the thing is, they don't have the buff and debuff that this medal has. So this medal takes care of himself, where those medals need other ones to complement it. So for now, I would give this guy a higher rating than those just because he can take care of himself. If you're not copying him and you put him in the pet slot or the 5th slot, he is just better because of that reverse defense down. There's nothing else in the game that gives us reverse defense down like he does, especially when it comes towards free-to-play players. If you guys can pull this medal and you have those copycat medals, I guarantee that you'll be able to pass this event. So the only people that could kind of skip on this, if you have a Record Keeper Terra or that Warrior of Light. Again, a fully gilded Scar could also do it, but you got to make sure you're doing that reverse defense down, because that is going to make a world of a difference. So pretty much, you guys, it's up to you what you want to do at this point, but I personally think I'm going to go for this on my free-to-play account. He's just going to be a beast, especially because I have Vexen, and I think I'm going to go for almost all the organization members, because no matter what, guys, even in the past, the old organization, oh my, holy, the organization 13 medals that were back then, the tier 3s were incredible. They were incredible, and they carried on for so long into the game. Same thing with these organization medals. They will carry on through the game, no problem. The amount of buffs and debuffs, the uniqueness of them, they just come out and they shine. He can be on the weaker side because he only buffs himself. But again, with the amount of like buff medals we have these days, we don't have to worry about that. We just want heavy hitters. And this is a heavy hitter, guys. Beautiful medal, guys. So if I did miss anything, don't forget to leave it down in the comment section if you want to add anything to this, if you want to talk about your own strategies. If you pulled, let me know how much pulls it took for you to get it, because I'm really interested in that to see what the community takes if everyone goes for 5 Mercy, or does everyone get on the first 3 pulls. I've seen a lot of people get on first 3 pulls for past medals, so I'm curious how it is here. There is drop rates. Again, guys, the drop rates are very low. The whole thing is in your mind, if you're going to pull for this, you're going to spend 11,600 jewels. Remember that. Don't go into this thinking I'm going to get luck in the first couple pulls. That only happens to like not even half of you guys. Not even close to half of you guys will get in the first couple pulls. If you're pulling for Mercy pull banners, know that the pull rates are bad and you're going for that Mercy pull. So again, the only thing I really miss in this is going over the pull rates of the other medals, but they're guaranteed to them every pull, and you guys shouldn't be chasing trades after you do your 5 pulls. Once you get this medal, stop pulling. Your jewels are safe for the next event. Stop pulling. Trust me on this. Do not chase trades and do not chase guilt, because we have plenty of Fantasia Mickey B's, Mickey and Brooms. You can guilt the medals that you get from pulls if you really want to. So I think that's everything, guys. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the like button. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll see you in the next one.